Hi everyone, I'm Clinton Smith. I'm the CEO of GCES, and I am here today on our 2 Cents, and I'm here with Galen Bargerstock, our president, our financial advisor, and the founder of GCES. Galen?
Yes. Hi.
I like the green on you, looking good.
Oh, thank you, Clinton.
Is green your favorite color?
Green is my favorite color.
Yeah.
Even my toothbrush.
Even your toothbrush is green.
Correct.
Yeah. Nice. So guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about breaking down the benefits of supplemental benefits. Now, supplemental benefits can mean a lot of things.
Yeah.
And we're going to break that down as much as we can in 28 minutes or so. And guys, there's a lot to stay on track here, so we're going to break it down by different types of supplemental benefits. So Galen, I just know, we've had previously seen clients that are struggling with money, that don't have enough money to put into their retirement, where they're putting the money into supplemental benefits.
Mm-hmm. Correct, and supplemental benefits can be a wonderful thing because it's going to give you the protection where you need it. The problem is if you don't need it and you're putting that money in there, instead of putting money into your matching money for your 401k, that might not be appropriate. And I run into that all the time where people are paying for something when they're not taking advantage of the free matching money that they have inside of their own investment with their company. Yeah,
and guys, we've worked with federal employees for a long time. Federal employees get a matching like 5% on their stuff that they're putting into their federal 401k or their TSP. And that is the first place that we want people to put their money because they're getting that free money. And that's a place where that comes down to morals and us doing the right thing for clients, making sure that they are not being put into a life insurance policy before they are deciding to get that free money to put in towards retirement.
Yeah, I mean, one of my biggest pet peeves is when people are putting into that disability policy or a supplemental benefit in general, and they're not putting in money to their 401k where they're not getting that free matching money. And free money, it's unheard of, So why wouldn't you be putting into something? Yeah, you might have to be there for 3 years to vest in or 5 years, but at the end of the day, you're getting something for nothing instead of paying for something that you might not need.
Yeah. And there's even times where we meet with people that don't even know what they're paying for, that have policies that have been put in place years ago that they don't even understand. So guys, as always, take as much as you can out of this episode. We appreciate you watching it with us and going through this with us. But honestly, the best way for you to understand your retirement and your benefits is to simply call the number on the screen, get in contact with us. We will do everything we can to make sure you are on the right track to retirement and you understand the things that you have going on, and even supplemental benefits. If you guys have a supplemental benefit, we're even going to talk about it later. There are people that have had horror stories of trying to figure out where the money is going and what it is that they've been paying for, and they've been paying on it for years.
Yeah.
So let's start with disability insurance.
Okay. So disability insurance in general is, some kind of benefit that you're picking up that they're going to pay, we'll say short-term disability, they're going to pay for a year if you get injured. And a lot of these disability policies will say that you have to be off work for 15 days or for 30 days before it would trigger, and then they're going to pay out that benefit monthly income to you. Why a person needs a disability insurance policy is because if they're not working and it wasn't work-related, workman's comp's not going to pay for that. So where are they going to get the money from? Because every month that mortgage or that rent, they want paid, so you have to have it in cases of emergencies.
Yeah. Now, I know there are two different, there's like a 14-day waiting period, and what is the other one?
30 days. So it's just a waiting period that you have to be off for that length of time before it'll trigger. Because if you're just out for like 4 or 5 days, they're not considering that, short-term disability, you're right back into work.
Yeah. So for disability insurance, what is the number one good thing about disability insurance?
Well, it's there if you need it. So, most cases they're going to allow you, 70–80% of what your salary is, that they're going to, pay you that if you're injured. So, it's all about, do you have sick leave? Do you have annual leave? Can you afford, do you have enough money in savings that you can afford to not pay for something, if you don't have income coming in for 3 or 6 months?
Yeah. No, I know you've sat down with people before that are paying tons of money for disability insurance, and they have over a year of accrued sick leave, not just counting sick leave, but also in addition to that, vacation time, annual leave. And that's where it doesn't make sense for you to purchase a disability policy, because let's say something happened, you could literally just go out on sick leave
Yeah.
or on, vacation time if you really had to, and make 100% of your income rather than paying for something where you make less than 100% of your income? Because you said you only make like 80%.
Yeah. No, most companies aren't going to give you the full value of the salary you make. It's going to be a limitation. But at the end of the day, those disability policies are going to have pre-existing conditions as well. So if you have knee problems and you have had knee problems constantly, if you pick up that disability insurance policy to cover that knee, thinking that you're going to next time it's not going to happen, they're not going to pay for it most likely because it was pre-existing. So you really just have to also take into consideration what is it for.
Yeah. No, I know in the past we've had a client that had a disability policy, and they were trying to make a claim on it, and the company denied it simply because they were at the doctor within the last year, and the doctor simply checked their heart for a heart issue that they had years ago.
Correct.
Right? But because they checked it that one time, the insurance company said, no, we're not going to cover this.
Yeah. And again, it's not that I don't like the insurance companies. I just don't really care for disability insurance policies in general unless you have a very physical job. I mean, let's say you work at the Social Security office and you're sitting at a desk. Well, why do you need to have a disability policy? Versus are you a postal employee? Are you carrying mail? Because that is very demanding on the body. It's a physical job. So, maybe in that case it's needed. But again, how much sick leave do you have saved up? Why waste your money? Because they're expensive. They could be $50 to $80 a paycheck when that $50 or $80 put inside of your investments, well, over time, if you're playing the market, that could add up to a lot of money.
Yeah. So would you say the biggest con with disability insurance is the fact that it's hard to get paid out on it?
The biggest con that I would say is not just purchasing it when you don't need it, but not being vigilant with it to make sure that you still need that. Because if you're a new employee and you need that protection for your family, well, 5 years later you're going to have sick leave build up. You're going to have savings build up because you have a position where you're creating wealth for your household. So you have to really examine this stuff, and that's a con to me as well. Are you doing checkups to make sure you're on the right track?
Yeah. So guys, we're going to take a break in just a minute. After that, we're going to come back and we're going to be talking about some other types of insurance like cancer insurance, accident insurance, dental vision, and long-term care, other types of supplemental insurances, and the pros and cons of them, and things you might want to think about before you purchase one of them. We'll see you in a minute. As people, we strive for better, from a better house to a better career to a better life for our kids. But when it comes to your retirement, what does better mean to you? Does that mean more income, a flexible lifestyle, or better solutions? A better retirement begins with a plan. To get your complimentary financial analysis, call the number you see here. Your retirement isn't going to plan itself, and this is your opportunity to plan better.
Work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter. The one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Preparing families for retirement, GCES.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Clinton Smith. I'm the CEO of GCES, and I'm here with our president and our founder, Galen Bargerstock. Galen, we've been talking about breaking down the benefits of supplemental benefits today. Next, we're going to talk about cancer insurance.
Yeah.
When's the number one time you shouldn't buy cancer insurance?
Well, I mean, you never know if you're going to get cancer. So, I mean, the number one time is probably if you already have it, they're not going to give it to you.
Well, obviously.
No, I mean,
or if
yes.
no one in your family has it, too.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that, because just because nobody in your family has cancer doesn't mean that you might not get cancer. So, yeah, let's touch
Yeah.
it.
Well, there's also, I mean, a lot of people might have a limited amount of funds.
Yeah.
And how many times have we ran into it where people are not putting into their retirement,
Correct.
but they have a cancer policy,
Yeah.
and no one that they know has ever had cancer?
True. I mean, you don't know if you're going to get cancer. Nobody does. It kind of comes off guard, and it's cancer. Nobody wants it. But at the end of the day, cancer insurance, you want to make sure that there's certain things about that policy that you're buying, like you get your money back after 20 years if you don't have cancer, because that sounds good to me, because it's a what if, and if you didn't, well, great. Now you don't have to pay for that mistake.
Yeah, so guys, this is called a return of premium. They offer it on some term life insurance policies as well. Yep. A return of premium is a very good thing to have, because it's almost like if you don't get cancer, hey, I'm going to get all that money back that I paid into it for the last 20 years.
Correct.
And that's money that you could then ultimately put into your retirement. Am I right?
You are right, 100%. And there's even cancer policies out there. There was one that encompassed, cancer until you were age 60, and then at age 60, you could turn that cancer policy, it would go away, and then become a permanent life insurance policy. So it's amazing what's out there. You just have to tell me where it hurts. Tell me what are your concerns about the cancer, and I'd help guide you in the right company and what policy to pick.
Now, ultimately, guys, we say this over and over again all the time. If you're having trouble making decisions on this, one thing you should not DIY, do it yourself, would be your retirement. Sitting down with a trusted financial advisor who has access to all of the different policies, all of the different types of annuities, life insurance, anything that's related to retirement is something that people that just don't have access to themselves off the street. And that's why you need a trusted financial advisor to really sit down and go over all of these things with you.
Yeah, it's pretty much an ear that will listen to all of your concerns and, help you navigate that path to the correct policy, whatever it may be.
So really, I'm guessing that the biggest con is that you could pay all this money for cancer insurance and then never get cancer and lose all of that money.
Well, I mean, that is a con, but then, you didn't get cancer, so, that's
yeah.
it's still good.
But it's a con.
Yeah.
Guys, there's so many ways to manipulate supplemental benefits. When we say supplemental benefits, this is referring to anything really that's supplemental, right? Like
an add-on.
Yeah, an add-on. So cancer, disability, accident, dental, vision, long-term care, life insurance, stuff like that, that all falls into this category, right? So accident insurance, is that like, I stubbed my toe?
No, but you're not off track too much. Accident insurance is, if you break a leg, they're going to give you X dollar amounts. If you break your arm, you're going to get X dollar amount. It's to cover for accidents, just minor things, but it's not like a disability insurance where it will ongoingly pay you monthly for a short or a long term. An accident policy is going to give you a lump sum usually, just, hey, you broke your leg, here's $500 or whatever dollar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this something that you've dealt with a lot? Have you seen this in the past with clients?
I think everybody probably in America has heard like jingles from, accident companies, out
quack,
there.
Quack.
Yeah, no specifics, but, accident policies are very popular.
Yeah, so guys, accident policies are popular. The next one, dental and vision. This seems like a pretty easy thing for people to understand. Are there pros and cons of this?
Well, maybe if you have great teeth, it might be, a con to go into dental or vision. But, you want to examine also before you pick up a supplemental policy, any lines. So dental would fall underneath a health plan. So maybe your health plan has some sort of dental plan inside of it. Some will give you a couple cleanings, a discount off, just your regular health insurance. And then a dental plan would be off to the side to cover the rest, where you might not have that with your health insurance at all. So you need to pick up a dental plan so you get those 2 cleanings a year, every 6 months, the exams, x-rays, things like that. So proper placement, same with vision.
Yeah. So is it really hard for people to shop around? Or I'm assuming for the most part, people really just add it onto their health insurance and have it.
No, it's usually a different line. So it is supplemental, as if it is another, say, an allotment coming out of your paycheck or being drafted out of your bank account. It's not, the health insurance company isn't giving that company money. It is something supplemental to that on top of.
And all this, do you think this is it big enough to really affect someone's retirement?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot. Dental work is very expensive.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you have children. You know, policies might not cover braces. Some might. You know, Invisalign nowadays. It really depends on what you're going into. Are you paying too much money? Are you reaping the benefits of that policy? Or are you just paying X dollar amount? And again, if you're picking up those policies, are you at the right price point policy? Maybe you're over-coveraging yourself, paying too much money monthly to have that dental or vision plan when you could find another one that is a little bit cheaper in price that's comparable where you're going to have the same level of care.
Yeah.
You want to get the price down.
Yeah, I know myself personally, I've always had great vision. I'm getting older. I still don't think I need it, but vision to me, that's always seemed to like something that I wouldn't personally get, but then I know people out there have glasses. That stuff can get very expensive.
It can.
You know, my teeth, they're soft like butter. So I've always had teeth issues, and dental insurance has always been important to me. And I really think for you guys at home, all of you at home watching this, that's really the way, what feels right to you. Do you have eye issues? You know, do you have lots of teeth issues? Have you taken care of your teeth? Those are all things to consider whenever you're deciding how much you want to spend, you know?
Yeah, and I'm the opposite of you. You know, I had vision problems. I had to get LASIX, and I have never had an issue with my teeth, maybe a couple cavities. So, you know, just the reverse. And that's, every situation's going to be different, and that even in a household.
Yeah. So guys, don't forget fluoride.
Yeah.
You know, fluoride is very important. Take care of your teeth, you know. So guys, we've been talking about supplemental benefits and the ins and outs of supplemental benefits. We're going to be back in just a few moments, and we're going to finish talking about long-term care, and we're going to talk about life insurance and really wrap it up in a pretty package, guys, about supplemental benefits and everything that you need to know today. Remember, you can always give us a call. The number is right here on the screen. You can give us a call literally during this commercial break and already have it set up where you will be planning your retirement before we even come back. So guys, we'll see you in just a moment. We'll be right back. So what got me into the business was really a series of events that led up to us doing it together. Galen and I were together for 10 years probably before we started our company. Before that, I was in restaurant management and hospitality, and a lot of that is carried over into our business. But I got laid off from a restaurant, and he said, hey, do you want to start setting my appointments? And then we made a logo, and now here we are 12 years later. So one of the things we've learned and noticed in this industry is that a lot of agents and companies just try to go in and sell everyone the same life insurance product. And that's something we really had to battle against in the beginning. We worked primarily in the beginning with postal employees, and a lot of them were taken advantage of. All of them have the same product, life insurance product, whether or not it worked for them. And that's why I like what we do, because we're not just out there to sell a product. We're out there to make the right decisions for people and use products that are actually good for them. So it's not all about making a sale. It's more about finding the right piece to fit into the retirement puzzle. If you go to a big box company, you're going to get a big box product. If you go to somebody independent, that independent person is able to search multiple companies to find the best thing that suits your needs for retirement. So I'm really excited about the way that the business is going now. You know, we've been in it for quite a few years, and we're excited to get to bring on more people into the family. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Clinton Smith. This is our 2 cents presented by GCES. Today we have been talking about supplemental benefits. If you've been watching from the beginning, thank you so much. And if you're just joining in, guys, DVR us next time. You can go back and catch us all over again. But we've been talking about supplemental benefits and the pros and cons of them. So now we're going to talk about long-term care. Now, I know long-term care for a lot of people is a big issue, something that a lot of people are really worried about, being able to take care of themselves in retirement. Galen, how has that worked out? How have you seen long-term care affect your clients?
So long-term care, you know, it's not often talked about at the actual appointment. It's something that I might bring up and they're like, oh yeah, well that does make a lot of sense. But some people, you know, have aged, and, you know, if you're that certain age range where you're now taking care of your parents, you know, that might be something that's on your mind. Long-term care insurance, you know, it is a supplemental benefit. It's something that you can decide to do. You know, federal employees, I think John Hancock and MetLife paired up to give them one. But even then, an outside benefit could be more appropriate than the one that they're trying to have. So, nobody knows if you're going to need assistance. Unfortunately, you could pass away instantly and not need care.
Yeah.
It's a what if.
So just break it down for me, just because I don't really even understand it either.
Yeah.
What does long-term care cover? Is it nursing homes? Is it hospitalization?
It really depends on, it's not hospitalization, it's going to be your nursing home care. It could also be at your home, so you could have a policy that is not just going to pay for if you're in a facility, but it would pay for somebody, you could get that money to use as you see fit. To have somebody come in and take care of you in your own home.
Is that something that has to be decided whenever you're purchasing it, that you need to know, hey, it's not just in-home or in-facility, it's in-home too? Is that something specifically people should be looking for?
It's like how many different varieties of apples are there? Yeah, so each
birds or alligators.
Yeah. So, there's so many different varieties out there that you do need to kind of know at the beginning if you're not going to have one with home care, when that's something that you really want to stay in your own your own house. I know that's what I would want.
Yeah. Long-term care, expensive?
Oh, it's very expensive, and as you age, it's also going to increase in price, and that's why a supplemental benefit like this, something that you're purchasing, are you taking away from where other money could be? When I sit down with somebody, I'm going to talk about, this is where we're at now, this is where you want to be. There are some annuity products out there that have care riders built into them to help for that situation, that what if I need somebody to care for me. So maybe you don't need to waste your money while you're younger on that long-term care policy, because you plan on trying to get that mixed in with something else later in life. So why not take that $100 a month and put it into your investments and have your investments grow?
Yeah.
So it's different for everybody.
So you're saying use it as an add-on to your annuity?
It could be used as an add-on for your annuity later in life. I'm not specifically saying that's what you need to do. I'm saying that that's an option. And when you're doing these supplemental benefits, when you're purchasing something, you have to think of, is this something that I have to have now, or is it something that I can get later and not have to pay more money?
Yeah, for everyone sitting at home watching this right now, if you have these questions, it is as easy for you to call the number on the screen. It's actually easier for you to call the number on the screen and for us to answer these questions for you than it would be for you to try to figure these things out on your own. I know we only have a few more minutes. I want to talk about life insurance and what are the different types of life insurance?
Well, life insurance is a supplemental benefit because if your employer has an employer group policy set in place, you can pick up a supplemental benefit, in place of it. Supplemental benefits on life insurance can be, your standard term, universal, your whole life policy. But when you're doing it in a supplemental platform, a lot of unions, employers like government workers, state workers, there's groups where they don't really care your health insurance, or you're not your health insurance, your health condition, that policy is going to issue because you work for the federal government.
Yeah.
So that's a supplemental benefit where you can pick it up. It's better than what you have, most likely. Again, examine it. But you're going to have some sort of guarantee if you're in a group.
Yeah. So I know we've been breaking down the pros and cons here.
Yeah.
And the con of life insurance, I'm assuming that in order to get it, you have to die. Would you agree with that?
100%. So unfortunately, you do have to pass away for life insurance to pay out to the beneficiary. If you're doing investment life insurance, you're doing it for a different reason, but ultimately, everybody will pass.
Ultimately, I consider that the worst con that we've had to deal with today.
Yeah.
But there are pros of life insurance, like being able to pass that money on to your family tax-free. If you die and you have $500,000 in your investments, it's going to go through inheritance tax when it goes to your beneficiaries. But if you have a $500,000 life insurance policy, that is going to go directly to your beneficiaries. They're going to pay no taxes on it. And it's a great way for you to put a legacy in place for everyone that you want.
Yeah, it's all legacy, taking care of your family. When you're younger, a term policy is going to help provide, the children. If you have children, if you pass and they're young, it's going to provide a future for them. So a term policy can do so much for a person. But at the end of the day, 20 years, 30 years down the road, you might have return of premium, but that term policy is not going to be the same price. It's going to get skyrocketed.
Now, with all these options out there, all of these things, cancer, disability, life insurance, dental vision, accident insurance, long-term care. I don't think I missed any on that list. With all of those things being considered, really, how does someone tell if they're making the right choice in purchasing a policy?
Oh, that's a good question.
There's only one right answer here, too, so I hope you get it right.
I think it's a gut reaction of what's right for you. I mean, what was your right answer?
I was going to say call the number on the screen. Guys, we can help you. Call the number on the screen. That is how you can tell if the policy is right for you. We can literally go over all of these things with you. That's why we're here. That's what we do.
Yeah.
You know? Have you ever seen any times where it went in a bad way? For someone with over too many policies, they had this policy, that policy, and a ton of different policies. Have you ever seen something like that happen?
I mean, I've ran into a few people, which I would call buyers, where they're buying anything from anybody. So they have the disability insurance, they have the cancer insurance, they have the life insurance, they have another life insurance, you know, and they might be in all of these 2 different life insurance policies, but they're still not appropriate, you know, because they're just buying something when somebody's offering it to them. It's really the analysis of everything, what you want to accomplish at this stage of life and what it's going to do towards your retirement.
So guys, we actually have a question that somebody wrote in. We have a client question, and we're going to go over that real quick before we let you guys go. So I'm just going to read it. Dear Galen, I want to thank you for taking the time to sit down with me to go over my post-retirement. As you had mentioned that I should contact my HR department to find out what the deduction was for, but I'm running into a roadblock to actually figure out what I've been paying for. I vaguely remember, and I want to say that it's a disability policy, but I don't know. Can you help me figure it out, and where do I go from here? And this is from Liz in Lidditz.
Oh. Well, Liz, I can definitely help you out. I mean, you're not alone, first off, so don't feel bad about, you know, anything, not knowing what you have. You have to contact your HR department. They should be able to give you the account number and the routing number of where that money is going to, because you're not routing from your paycheck something directly to an insurance company. It is usually 99% of the time going to a third party, and that bank can give you the information you need to contact about that policy and find out what's going on.
So guys, it has been fun us going over the breaking down of the benefits of supplemental benefits with you guys today. Don't forget, you can give us a call at the number on the screen. We're here to help you understand your retirement, and we can take it from here. Guys, have a great day.